Hello everybody, it is Galrock the Pizza Guy here with episode 8 for my Galropack Let's Play series. Last episode we finished setting up the tree farm and the power gen. Got that all going. You can see I've built up a full barrel surplus of charcoal, and now I'm getting a backlog of the rubber wood that we're making the charcoal with. So things are looking good over here. Got plenty of stuff building up here, plenty of apples, plenty of extra saplings, some oak wood. You can see I've already filled up a barrel for raw rubber, and any more raw rubber coming in is undoubtedly finding its way into that trash can. No weird random items have shown up in that chest yet, so good to go there. And then I went searching around everywhere and everywhere and everywhere trying to find the presses we need to get started with Applied Energistics. Well, in between episodes, I came down here and made kind of a pipe chase, I guess you could call it, to give me somewhere I can run cables back and forth however I need. So there's that. And this episode, I think, let's get started getting the Applied Energistics. So without further ado, I also made the stone basin here. I can show you that recipe in NEI. There it is. Just some smooth stone and some metal ingots around. And what that does is that's an unlimited water source in one block. But unfortunately you can't pipe out of that water source. So, but still it's great to have for filling your buckets of water when you need to. So without further ado, let's get this started. You can see I spent some time mining, got a bunch of stuff, lots and lots of Certus quartz, well, an adequate amount anyway, and pretty good bit of charged Certus quartz as well. So let's start by making some Fluix crystals. I'm going to take this charged Certus quartz, and I need the same number of redstone and the same number of nether quartz, like so. I'm going to drop that into the water, drop that into the water, and drop that into the water. Let it sit for a second, and boom! Woohoo! And for each operation there you get 2, so we've got 74 Fluix crystals now. I'm going to start with a block from E08 stuff. It's a small, simple mod, E08 stuff. Got the advanced inscriber, the crystal growth chamber, and the pattern encoder. The crystal growth chamber is what I want to start with. Now, anybody who's played with Applied Energistics 2 before knows this. You can grind down your crystals, make your seeds, throw them in the water, and without any accelerators, let it sit there for hours. And I do literally mean hours of real life time, letting that seed grow into purified Fluix crystals or nether quartz or Certus quartz. It takes a long time. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the crystal growth chamber. Pretty easy to do. Now these accelerators around that puddle would speed up the process, but I want to use this one block. It'll work a lot better. I need to make some Certus quartz dust. Let's start with that. You can see I had tons of extra cobblestone. Decided it'd be nice to have tons of extra sand. Put some of that away. Also made up a bunch of glass. And that'll probably get me started for now. We need quartz glass. That is not quite enough. We need more. Alright, that should be enough to get us started. Now we need some glass cables. For that we need more dust. Actually, I might start, well, I'll use some Certus quartz dust for this at this point, and then we need glass around that for those quartz fibers. We'll make a couple of sets of those. And let's make a few sets of these. That should be enough to get me started. Alright, now we need 6 Fluix blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And what else do we need? Oh, a bunch of iron. Well, good thing I have a bunch of iron. There we go. And that'll make 6 of these. We need a hopper and a chest. We've got a few more cables here. So there we go. Got a crystal growth chamber. This thing, we should be able to hook it up directly to power. For the moment, I'm just going to tap in down here. I think we can hook it directly to power. I don't remember. We might need to hook it up through... Yep, that's what I thought. Whoops. Forgot how fast my pickaxe is now. Alright, so we need a power acceptor then, so that we can put power into this block. So let's look at what that's going to take. I think it's called an energy acceptor, actually. Yep, that's it. So 1 Fluix, a few quartz glass, and a few iron. Yeah, we've got what we need for that. Let's see. Where did I have? There it is. I might ought to grab my Yeta wrench. Let's do that. Let's put the energy acceptor right here. That way we can just do that. Set the growth chamber on top. There we go. Now it's got power. I'm going to try to work on keeping this looking good, either with facades or covers or whatever we need to do. But in the meantime, now instead of dropping seeds down here in the water and waiting for hours, we can use this. So let's do that. Take our Certus quartz dust and some sand. And we get Certus quartz seeds. And this is a nice effective way of doubling your Certus quartz. So you want to do this as much as you can. Same holds true for Fluix. As a matter of fact, now that I've got that, I'm going to go ahead and sag mill up all this Fluix. That way we can double what we've got there. So I'm going to grind down some more Certus and some more Fluix, and I will be back in just a minute when all that's done. Alright, got all that stuff made up. Went ahead and made some pure nether quartz, pure Fluix, pure Certus quartz. Kept a few Fluix dust though, and I will show you why in a little while. Now the next thing we're going to need is an inscriber. If you played in the old Applied Energistics for Minecraft 1.6.4, you were able to just craft your drives, or craft the processors. That's the word I'm looking for. Well, not anymore. We've got to use the inscriber, so we need 5 iron, couple of sticky pistons, and a fluix crystal. We've got a couple of sticky pistons, and we've got the fluix crystal, still got some iron, so there we go. We have an inscriber. And just like this, we're going to put down some cable and hook the inscriber up. Alright. So I plan on making, tell you what, let's look at the ME drive first. So for that we're going to need a couple of engineering processors. Well, engineering processor takes the engineering circuit. Engineering circuit is diamond on engineering press. So we need 2 of those. So a couple of diamonds, let's grab that engineering press. As a matter of fact, I'm going to grab 1 of each of those and a chest real quick just to put that stuff nearby. So there's the engineering press. Now you might notice, can't stack right there. Now it'll stack here, but we can't stack anything inside the inscriber. Well, we do have the advanced inscriber, and we will work with that, but for now this is just going to have to do. We need some silicon. Let's go ahead and make up the whole batch that we have. So we need our silicon press, and see. So that's going to get frustrating pretty quickly if I don't do something to automate it. I will, but not yet. And in the meantime, we're going to need more silicon, no doubt about it. So let's sag mill some of that sand. And now we do that, and that gets our processor for us. There we go. So now our ME drive, what are we missing? We don't have enough fluix cables. Well, good thing I made a bunch of that up. There we go. Now we can make the ME drive. There we go. I guess for the time being we're going to put it right here. Give me that. I know now I have to walk all the way back around because I just had to hop down and grab that, right? So ME drive, for now we're going to put it right there. Okay, that's good. I'm going to put a cable on top. But now we need drives in there. We need a terminal to access stuff once we start putting things in there. So let's look at the crafting terminal. We need a terminal. That takes an illuminated panel, and there's 3 different kinds, but so a couple of glowstone, should have everything else in my inventory already. There we go. Alright, we need a formation plane and an annihilation or not plane, but core. Formation and annihilation core. We're also going to need a logic processor. Let's go ahead and get that thing working. Logic, press, there you are. Actually, I'm going to need 3 of those. Because those cores each require 1. Okay, and one of them uses Certus, the other one uses Nether. So we do that. Gonna need those. And now we're just waiting to finish this up. So obviously this is going to take a minute. I'll be back in just a minute once I'm done crafting up. Also need that calculation processor. So once I'm done crafting up these processors, I will be right back. Right, there we go. Got all these processors together. So there's our annihilation core, and use Certus. There's our formation core. So we should be able to make this terminal now. Alright. Now we want to make it into a crafting terminal just because. So we're going to need a crafting table. Well, that's plenty easy enough. Just like that. And we're going to put that up there with the terminal we made. Matter of fact, I'll show you the terminal before we actually change that crafting. So there's the terminal, what it looks like, and once we actually have stuff in here, you can easily access your stuff from here, sort it, whatever you need to do. But if we change it into a crafting terminal, so I'm going to put you there, and you there. We get to shoot off fireworks in the house, yay! At least this one's not made of wood. Well, now we've got a crafting table mixed in with the terminal, so all our stuff can be inside here, and we can craft with it. Makes life a lot easier. So now, we still can't put anything in here. See, we need drives, or disks, I guess, in this drive. So I find that the 4K is the nice balance. And remember, each disk can only hold 63 different types of items. So the difference in the sizes are how many items total they can hold. So with the 63 types, I find that 4K is generally the nice middle of the road, well balanced storage cell. So to make 4K, we need that one. We need 3 of those for each 4K. So guess what? I'm going to make more processors. Be back in a minute. I had to make one quick change to help simplify my life a little bit. If you put a hopper or item conduit or whatever into the side or the back of the inscriber, it'll always insert right there into that middle slot. So that's just going to simplify my process making these components anyway. So just wanted to show you that real quick. I'm going to keep working on making these processors, and I'll be back in a minute. I got a bunch of processors made up. So let's look into making this 4K storage cell. So I'm going to make 6 of them for now. And what did I forget to grab some more pure Certus quartz? Got it right there. So I'm going to make 6 of these for now. That means I need 18 of these, which means I still need more pure Certus quartz. There we go. Now I need 6 of these, just like so. and put them into the housings. There we go. And we get to shoot off more fireworks in the house. Yay! Now we can put stuff in here. So I'm going to work on migrating a bunch of this stuff, actually the majority of it, into the system where we'll have access to all of it right here. So I'll be back in just a minute. Right, there we go. Got most of this stuff put up in the AE system. Now some of this stuff I'm really not going to use a whole lot, and is probably just going to use up space that I don't want it using up in here. So I'm leaving it in the barrels, or in some cases like some of this dungeon gear, stuff like this that just will not stack, takes up a lot of space. So I'm not putting some of that stuff in there, and the cooked prepped food I don't want to put in there just because I don't want it to get lost in the system. But other than that, we've got pretty much everything in here. Yay! So now when we want to craft something, let's say I wanted to craft a furnace. You know what? That's a really bad example because I haven't put any cobblestone in there yet. We will eventually make it to where we can access stuff that's in the barrels from the AE system, but we're not there yet. So let's say I wanted to make a furnace. Okay, if I shift click just like I did in a crafting table, it'll pull the cobblestone out of the AE system. Makes crafting a lot easier, a lot more convenient. And I gotta admit, I jumped straight into this as quick as I could because I am just totally spoiled to this system. Because it makes things so much more convenient, right? So now let's start working on automating some things. Well, one thing we're going to need is a crafting processor. Let's see, there we go. I think again a 4K will be the way to go. So we need a crafting unit. That's 2 calculation processors and a logic processor, and then we need another 4K, so that'll be 3 more logics and a calculation. So I need 4 logics, 3 calculations. Back to working with this thing. I'll be back in a minute when I have those processors ready. Okay, got those made up. So let's see, or at least I've got the processors made up. So let's get a crafting unit, and let's make the 4K. So we need 3 of these. 1, 2, 3. And 1 of these. And just do that. We've got crafting storage. Let's go downstairs and throw this thing. Basically, I'm going to try to do a lot of my AE automation down here. So, crafting storage, you go there. Device online. You know, that makes me think of something. We need some smart cables. Because Applied Energistics has channels, and if we use smart cables, it'll help us see the channels. Let's see. So smart cable Fluix is the basic one. We need glowstone, redstone, and a covered cable. Well, that needs wool. So we're going to be getting a wool farm together soon. We're just going to make a few of these for now. Alright. Now obviously the process of this thing is a pain. We want to automate it in some way. So let me go down here. We're gonna change this out with a smart cable. There we go. Now we can see the channels that we're using up. We're using up 3 channels, which I believe is the crafting storage, the drive, and the crafting terminal. Once we get to 8 channels, we're going to need what's it called, a controller, so that it'll allow us to handle more than 8 channels, but we'll get into that when that time comes. So let's look at, I want to make some interfaces. So we're going to need some more of these cores. That means we're going to need some more of these processors. Alright, let me make up some more of those processors, and I'll be back in just a minute. Okay, finally got a few of these processors together. I went ahead and made 16 of them because, I mean, we're going to use them, right? So we need auto crafting, obviously. Well, one of the first things we're going to need is a molecular assembler. So let's go ahead and make that up. Crafting table. And I think we've still got, yeah. Alright, and there we go. Well, the molecular assembler needs interfaces. We'll start with 2. So we need 2 formation cores, 2 annihilation cores. I've got some pure nether quartz over here, yeah. And then, just like that. So let's go downstairs. And we're going to dig a little further back here. So what we're going to do, get that molecular assembler, we're going to set it up right there, and now interface to it, and it is online and connected. And we can put 2 interfaces on there. Actually, let's put that interface, doesn't want to bounce off of there. Alright, I'll do that then. Now let's see, is it online? Yep, anything in there just pops right back into the system. So we'll throw some light there for the moment. Don't want anything spawning inside after all. So you can see we're up to 5 channels now. We used up 2 more channels with these interfaces. Now what are we going to do with these interfaces on this molecular assembler? I'm glad you asked. First, we're going to hop back up here, and we need, there's another terminal we need. It is the pattern terminal. So we need another crafting terminal, and we need another engineering processor. The crafting terminal is going to require more processors. So let me get those together. I'll be back in just a minute. Alright, got those together and put in here, so let's get to it. We need another terminal, so we're going to need some more of these, another formation core, and another annihilation core. Alright. And now, hey, where's those panels? I think I left them. Yep, right there. Well, that was a bit of a derp. There we go. Okay, got a terminal. So we want to make it into a pattern terminal. That needs a crafting terminal, which needs a crafting table. Well, that's easy enough. There we go. Got a crafting terminal. And finally, the pattern terminal. I'm not going to keep it like this, but for the moment I'm going to put that right there. Alright, now we need blank patterns. So let's make a few of these. And what we're going to do with these is teach the system how to make stuff on its own. I'm going to teach it with nether quartz dust. So let's go ahead and sag mill a bunch of that down. One will be enough to get me started. Let's clear that and try again. There we go. Encode the pattern. And now let's teach it how to make that. Well, maybe we should get some glass first. Alright. You used to be able to craft in it right there. Guess not. Well, I'll craft... Oh, I know why I can't craft it. Because I don't have enough dust in there. Derp-de-dur. There we go. So now we can teach this thing how to make more blank patterns for us. So now another thing that we keep making a lot of, formation cores. So let's do that. And annihilation cores. So let's teach it that one. So what we'll do is go downstairs, and we can throw these patterns into one of these interfaces just like so. And now go back upstairs. Yeah, there's a way around all this going downstairs then going back upstairs. Don't worry, we'll get to it. But now, here's a blank pattern. Let's tell it to craft one. Next, and you can see we've got everything available to do it, so start, and boom. So, auto crafting is a thing for us now. And that is about all the time I have for today. So, next episode we'll get into doing some more automation with Applied Energistics. You probably saw I had some cables laid out for future plans. And I'm looking forward to being able to show you what those plans are. So, don't worry, we're going to get into it. And until next time, you can find me on Facebook, facebook.com/GalrockFamily. You can also find me on Twitter, handle @GalrockFamily. Be sure to hit subscribe so that you can keep up with my videos and check things out. You can check out my other series besides just this one. Hit like, please, if you liked the video. I hope you enjoyed it. And until next time, this is Galrock the Pizza Guy reminding everybody to tip that pizza delivery driver. We're out there working hard for you. See you next time.